Hello, Mad Notions friends. We forgot to record an intro to this podcast. It was recorded a couple of weeks ago. So just some things we wish we had included. I certainly wish I included to tell you all that Songbook is back for anybody living in Belfast or close enough to travel to Belfast. Anybody who doesn't know, it's the first Tuesday of every month. March, the 1st will be our March edition. So 1st of March, we have Winnie Amma, we have Connor Scott, two great local artists. Very excited to have them both join us on the stage. So it's upstairs in the Ulster Sports Club. Tickets for that are in the link in the description. If you join our mailing list as well, for Songbook, you get cheaper tickets as well. So for anybody who would normally come down to Songbook, if you join the mailing list, you can get cheaper tickets that way. The link for that will also be in the description. My dog has just barked downstairs. I hope that hasn't ruined the audio. Secondly, Mad Notions has booked a live show for the 19th of July, which is upstairs in the Sunflower Bar. Pretty small room, so if you do want to get tickets for that, make sure you get them early because it'll go pretty quickly, I imagine. Not to be too presumptuous, but I imagine they'll go pretty quick. So, get that as well. Be great. We've got even segments planned. We're very excited. Follow us as well on Instagram, Twitter. You can also join our Facebook group. We don't really post so much to the page, but if you join the Facebook group, it's just Mad Notions Podcast Group, I think is what it's called on Facebook. The link to all of those is in the description as well. Follow us there. If you haven't already liked, shared and subscribed to the podcast, do all those things. Please leave us a 5-star review on anywhere that you listen. That's also a massive help. What else is handy? I made lists. Here in the last couple of weeks as well, we've also built a new set for the podcast, which you might have seen pictures of shared on our socials, but so it doesn't feature in this episode, but we just kind of upgraded a few things, hopefully trying to make it all a bit more of a more enjoyable viewing experience. Also, I was giving out a couple of weeks ago that nobody was watching the podcasts, but I've noticed a massive spike in the YouTube views. So for all of you that are checking out the YouTube version of the podcast, thank you so much, because it takes an awful lot of time to put it all together, and I really hope that you enjoy it. Also, hilariously, for weeks I've been trying to figure out how to color grade out all the lens flare that was going on, and it turns out, which we figured out in recording this week, which you'll see in a couple of weeks time, that I hadn't been cleaning the lens of the camera, which of course is a thing, and I just hadn't done, because I'm a fucking idiot. So for anyone that was bugging as much as me, you'll be glad to know we finally figured it out. We had tried everything except the most simple thing, which was just to wipe the camera. So that's also been fixed now as well. Not in this episode, of course. Not really a big issue in this episode, actually, to be fair. But yeah, which brings me to my final point. You can watch these on YouTube if that isn't already obvious from what I've just been saying for the last couple of seconds. Go and check it out. We're basically kind of trying to gear the podcast more towards, obviously the audio will always make sense anyway, like it's still a podcast, but yeah, we're just trying to really focus in on the visual side of things for a while, and try get the quality of that up to match the audio that's been kind of decent for all these years. So yeah, lots in the pipeline, lots of plans. Hope you enjoy it. Enjoy the show. Get in touch. Buy some tickets. Songbook 1st of March. Mad Notions live show 19th of July. Follow us. Get in touch. That's when the gigs are. I'll just start the intro music now.
And we're back.
It's been over 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Since we recorded.
Yeah, last year.
I'm pretty sure it was a fucking year ago.
It was New Year's Eve. We've missed your birthday. St. Bridget's Day.
Yeah.
All the big ones.
Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year.
Cello.
What?
I don't know. vodka. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Any crack now?
No.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, well, we'll start with you. If I've learned anything from
Here we go.
editing 6 podcasts, is that you should go first. From spending a week.
Because if I don't start,
because you won't get a fucking word in it. So when I get all your wee news out of the way.
I got the keys to the house.
Did you get the secret?
Oh God. Me and Orla got the keys to our first house there. So
Congratulations.
yeah.
What's the address?
Aye.
You just had a very grown up conversation out there, I remember.
That put me in bad form just immediately before we sat down.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel bad about it.
No.
It's fine. Like, it's just
I think why I'm in bad form is it was caught on the hop and unable to articulate myself. So I just fucked him off when I was like, I gotta go, I'm in work here.
Yeah. Aye. Don't mind it, like, it's grand. I remember whenever we were getting our mortgage sorted, Mags, because it was Margaret was getting the house essentially, like it was in her name, but so she was doing all the life insurance stuff and all that kind of crack on her own. But then I had to go to like one of the meetings, and so the deal was like, if you went with this woman for your mortgage, she would give you, or sorry, no, if you went with her for the life insurance, she would waive the fee for the mortgage consultation or whatever, like something like that. Which obviously meant that the fucking commission she was getting from whatever. But I just remember like she had like a load of pamphlets, and it was just like, it was like, here's some crap ones, but here's a really good one. You know what I mean? And Margaret was just like, well, we're going to save £200. I was like, yeah, but if we ever break our legs, it'll be fuck all good to us. Your one was really annoyed. I could tell. Like, she was just like, she had Margaret like literally just ready to sign. Like, and I was like, let's just ask some questions here first.
Yeah, I was thinking of it. I kept thinking to myself through this whole process. So it kind of started a couple of months ago, and I was way less daunted than I anticipated myself being, you know, in the face of like dealing with solicitors and stuff.
You've come a long way since that bank meeting.
That's all I kept thinking about.
Just staring at the wall.
I was like, if Nathan could see me now, signing off letters to my solicitor, regards.
Warm regards, Michael.
Yeah.
But so you're sorted now then?
The keys yesterday.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Class. Can I go see it after?
We sure can, yeah. It was funny because like we got the keys now, we went to go and have a look again, and we were fully anticipating it, just walking off going, oh fuck, where do you see this shithole? Because like it was a lot of work to try and get all, just to try and get, like, putting a deposit down it's a hard graft, and couldn't have done it without fucking help either, you know. But while you're doing that, you're also forking out money to surveyors to tell you, you know, the place you're interested in buying in is basically unlivable, and you know, you may have to tear the whole thing down and build it up again. That's kind of, by the end of it, that's how you feel, you know. And then
it's like having a tradie uncle come into your house.
Yeah, start kicking the skirting.
Who did that? Just what boy put that up? I think that was you. Looks great.
But so that's like just how you kind of start to think about it in your mind, and then like we went in and it was like, it was warm, felt clean. All the work just didn't seem as daunting, you know. So it's exciting, very exciting.
Wait till they start peeling back the layers. Ours was a fucking roast, man. We thought ours was going to be like a turnkey, like, and that girl really stitched us up. That fucking sold us that house, man. I swear.
Really?
Like, oh, the smell of dog piss was unreal.
Is that not just recently?
No,
you can't start blaming her for the
yeah. She never had a dog, and I have two, but I'm convinced it was her. No, she fucking she chain smoked, and so all anything that was meant to be white in the house was yellow.
Right.
Like all the.
Oh, I thought that was just like a choice, you know, when you go into Belfast rentals and they're all magnolia.
No,
it's actually just tobacco.
Yes. Yeah. No, but like it's funny because like it was so consistently coloured that you would have thought that maybe that she had just bought like off-white ones, but like I later learned you can't buy those like standard like ceiling roses, you know, for like the lighting.
Those are bespoke.
They're very bespoke. They're only white. More or less, you can paint them. Like, but yeah, she hadn't painted them. It was just fake smoke, and all the carpets and everything were just soaked and minging. And it took us about 2 months, I think, until we walked into the house one day and we're like, I think the smell's gone.
Yeah.
Like, it was. I don't think she'd
And
ever.
the paint job's looking great. Like,
Yeah,
the great
that
job.
spare room. Once we peel off that fucking rucksack size blob on the wall there, it's gonna look real good.
You're not getting rid of mixed blob, are you?
Are you going to call in the big guns for your own house? Or
Oh, yeah.
Are you just going to maybe pay attention now that it's your own house? Maybe all your answers are just a Google video away.
Nah, I have earmarked a couple of people in my head. Going to call in a few favors, not looking at anybody in particular. Patreon donators.
If you sign up for £10 a month,
£10
you can come and paint my house. What a deal.
Yeah.
And that reminds us, you can support this podcast on Patreon if you want to.
I fucking need it now. I'll tell you that much. I'm fucking fleeced. Jesus Christ.
Do you know what? Whenever I was putting the outro sequence thing together for the YouTube videos, and you sent me the list of names, it was a nice problem to have, to try and figure out how to fit them all onto one screen.
Yeah.
87, which is what we're currently at, still far away from Wonderwall. Thank you. And we will remain there at this pace, it seems. But yeah, like 87.
We're
just
edging.
Seems like we're just edging furiously. Just, come on. But yeah, 87 kind of like just as a number. You know, like if you release a single and only 87 people listen to it, you'd be gutted. But when you actually see 87 names written out, you're like,
Yeah.
it's actually a lot of people.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely.
We should just plummet after this.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to cancel it.
Oh my god. I had a funny one the other day when I was listening to Colin Geddes' podcast, and he'd recently introduced tiers into his. So it used to be like same as ours, you could just do whatever you want. But I think he brought in like a £5 minimum or so, or it was like a £3 minimum or something. But it was basically like a £5 if you wanted anything. Which is fair enough. I think like he brings out a lot of stuff like so. And he was just talking about like how he got like loads of messages from people like giving off that like, you know, fuck you, basically like you know, I was at £4 a month, but this £1 extra a month to get stuff is real. How dare you expect money for your work? And he was going on and on. I remember I was playing FIFA. It was when I was in isolation. I was just playing away, and I was like, these fucking cunts aren't, you know. And because I would be signed up to his Patreon, and then went in to be like, right enough, I haven't actually checked that in ages, and realised that my fucking card had expired and I hadn't been actually paying anything into it for about a year. I felt really bad. I was like, but yeah, we should introduce more of an incentive probably on ours to get. We've been saying this for a while,
Yeah.
but hopefully the upgrade of YouTube quality content is.
Well, we had a break there. Long break.
Which allowed me to iron out some nuts and bolts, as the saying goes. Lots of nuts and bolts in this jumper. Get the iron. Don't know what the fuck I'm on about. But
It allowed you to have a bit of fun as well in the edit. I've discovered.
Well, it's just like loads of stuff that we kind of like joked about doing, or just kind of going like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we had the time? I had the time, so I know a lot of it's like template kind of based, and so I can knock them up pretty quick now that I've figured them out. I tell you what, man, this is not an ad, but Canva is very useful. If anyone is like doing it, honestly, like this is a genuine.
No, it is.
I use this a lot and can't recommend it enough. If you have no graphic design skills or any like animation skills or whatever, and you just need something real basic, but kind of like it. Honestly, like I made all those. My favorite was the politics corner news flash thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
I was only a day.
but I've
wouldn't have
seen the
it.
news thing. I think I've seen it.
Oh, I've probably seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of them were like so fun to like knock up and fucking and just have a bit of crack with. And then once I realized like how to like isolate like me and your figurine kind of looking things on the the artwork. Or
Yeah.
Like, it was great to be able to just like drag and drop them into stuff, and it was like really fun. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. It was great. It's fun to see.
Yeah.
you
My
know.
favorite
Go on.
moment was the bit where I say to you, whenever I bring up robots,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm going to make a whole thing about this, and you're like, you will not
I
do
know.
it. I'm going to fucking say this right now, you will not do it. And I was like,
It's good to be proved wrong.
It is.
Or was it my plan all along?
no, it wasn't. You gave me
I could be
COVID.
villainous.
You bitch.
I could be underhanded and villainous like that.
It's not in you.
I don't know. I think I could.
You,
Not master.
you had serious issues telling a man who deserved to be told to fuck off a minute ago, you just said.
It's not even. No.
Could you call me tomorrow? I'm just in the middle of something.
Yeah. No, it's just I was just caught on the hop there, you know, and I don't like being caught on the hop because especially on the phone because I just couldn't articulate what I needed to get across. I was like, leave me alone.
I've had Vodafone trying to phone me for like maybe once a week now for the last, I don't know, it feels like maybe since Christmas anyway, for sure. They've been ringing me like at least once a week. And a mate of mine was working in Vodafone and got me like an incredible, because he was leaving Vodafone and he had left on his like, quota for the year. He could still give like, he had like 3 more like 60% off offers that like for like family and friends that he could use up, and he was like, do you want to use one of these? Are you on Vodafone? And I was like, aye. And so I get like Spotify, unlimited calls, text, data, fucking everything for like 15 quid a month or something. And they keep ringing me being like, just want to go over and tell you about some new offers. And I keep just going. My buddy was working in Vodafone and I have a staff discount. I know you can't beat it. Just take me off this list. Like, and then like there was one guy one day who was like, well, would you give me a minute and just see if we could? I was like, I know you can't. Right, all right, let's do it. Like I was in quarantine and I was like, I'm not playing FIFA. I'm just like, whatever, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's still expensive. Cool, go away. But. And it was like fucking 20 minutes. And he was like, best he could do was like whatever, like 25 quid. And he was like, now for that you'd get 5 gig of data and just 100 minutes. I'm like, cool, so worse and more expensive. Great. Go away. Like, why are we still on the phone? You could be talking to someone who you could help. Unless you can extend my discount, because it will run out. But yeah, it was fucking, yeah, it's really funny. Those fucking relentless sales calls. You're just like, would you just go away?
Well, tell me this.
When's a good time to call you? Never.
Is it a good time to pitch you something now? Speaking of sales calls.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Got a new business idea.
Shit. Okay. I have one as well. Actually, you've just reminded me. Carry
You
on.
go first.
Well, mine is one of those, like on Dragon's Den where they're like, I've got a great idea. And then they're like, that's amazing. Do you own the patent? And they're like, oh no, I just thought of it, but I just thought you could, so I haven't made it yet.
Yeah. That's grand. I haven't made none of my great ideas.
But I'll definitely not be able to make this.
Well, you could worse. I mean, 2 of my ideas already existed, even though they were derived. 2 out of 3 of my ideas that were derived on this podcast as being a dumb business idea. 2 of them already existed, outside of my knowledge, thus proving that I was onto something.
I wonder if there's like a law in patent law that says
discover
if
it
you can prove that
independently.
if you independently had the idea as well, you should be allowed some of the
You
money. Wouldn't that be unreal?
The wipe down baby onesie exists.
It does. What was the other one? I remember that. That was the one
the other one was more of a theory that I could teach a dog to read.
you have not been fuck off.
I've been proven
One Labrador that can fucking
presses all
press
those
on
buttons.
the yeah. All right. I don't think that's reading. I think that's like when I press this, something nice happens.
Yeah, but it understands. So what I'm saying is that's not the end goal, but that's a step in the process because it'll if you can get it understanding visual patterns, then it's only a matter of time before you get it to understand the pattern of the word.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still a kick in the arse away from like an implicit understanding, but you're getting close to a dog being able to read text is all I'm saying. And I was proven right. But the third one just didn't take off. I'm not sure if it's been made. Remember the fashionable neck pillows?
Oh yeah. Dumb. Sorry.
You're only saying that.
I shut you down pretty quick there, I know, but I remember thinking dumb. It was more just that they would be fashionable. It was just like who the fuck would walk around with like a fucking massive pillow on their neck?
Well, that's the thing.
Who wasn't in an airport lounge?
Yeah, no, if it's fashionable, and it's the tagline, remember, was comfort but make it fashion.
Okay. Yeah, no.
So it just becomes like like the way people wear
The
scarf.
tagline for this company was comfort but make it fashion.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that probably
Snappy.
exists. I think that is snappy. If it doesn't exist, I'd be surprised. Anyway, what's your business idea?
I just wanted to say on the dogs reading thing, I don't know if I've said already on this, but Gareth and Amy have bought those like buttons on Amazon that you can like basically record a fucking word into or whatever for your dog, and then your dog can hit it and it'll, you know. So like they have a couple around the house. One is by the back door when she needs out, so she goes out if she needs a piss, and she hits, I think it says wee wees, and she just stands by the door and she's like wee wees, and then
Wow.
Amazingly though, right?
That's amazing.
I was around. So she only had them like a day, I think, and she's really, really, really smart dog. She had it sauce like almost like fucking seemed like instantly, like first day got it, totally understands. But I can't remember how many. So there's one for the back door. There's one for food, and there's one by like her food and drink bowl. So like if she needs water or whatever, it's like she hits that one, and then they'll refill, right? But then there's two other ones which I think immediately became clear was a mistake to give. One is
Treat.
Yeah. So I was around having a cup of tea, and like
Treat.
we're just like
Treat.
we're sitting like this, and Daisy's just in the background, just like. Treat. And because they were trying to teach her, they were trying to like reinforce obviously the behaviors. So every time she did it, they had to give her one. We're like in the middle of like a fucking serious chat, and just like in the background, she's just sitting there, just treat. And then she gets a fucking wee thing thrown at her, and then literally immediately after, treat. I was like, I bet you're fucking regretting that button. Why would you give her a button for her favourite thing? Like, that she's never going to not want. So every time I'm ever in the house now, like, it's just like, you be in the kitchen making tea, and she just walks over and she's just like, treat. There's always some on the table, and you always have to give it to her. And the other one, which is sad, actually, I think, when you don't have the time, but it's play. And she sees you coming, and she's all like, here's my favourite people, you know. And then she fucking runs over to like, it's like on a wee, it seems to be on like a beanbag sort of bed sort of thing that she has in it. She fucking runs over and she's like, play. And you're like, no, we don't have time. And she's like, treat. She just like, keeps hitting it, just play. And you're like, I don't have time, Daisy. And she's like, play. It just goes on, man. It's a fucking heartbreak. But yeah, so I mean, they can at least learn how to correspond buttons.
Yeah.
I did enjoy as well that they're different colours, so that the dogs can differentiate between the different buttons using their amazing ability to differentiate between colours.
You're stalling because you've lost faith in your business idea.
I haven't. I'll be honest, Mick. I don't think nobody has thought of this. I just it was more just, can you imagine the carnage? Like so when you think of social medias, you think of the harm that they have done with what they're able to do currently, right? The spread of misinformation, just fake news, general people just falling with their neighbours, politics is everywhere now. It's all, everyone's a fucking keyboard warrior, right? Can you imagine the destruction that would be done to our society if someone came up with an ability to capture and share smells? Like, you think like an unsolicited dick pic is bad? Imagine you're just
opening farts.
You're just farts. Imagine, do you know all those WhatsApp groups you're in with like all the laddie lads, or whatever, and they're all
I don't frequent that.
They're all sending.
I'm usually a silent observer in the stag WhatsApps,
but just sending really fucking like awful things to watch. You're like, oh, I can't believe I just saw that, But imagine just constantly,
Imagine the good side of that though. Nice smells being sent.
Nobody would use it for nice smells.
Come home soon. Dinner's nearly ready. And you boop.
Oh, sorry, that was a fart from earlier. Just think, like, I can't imagine I think I would like that. That would be, I think, more than anything that's ever come before. If there was an ability to share and send smells,
Smell-o-vision.
I would definitely get rid of my phone. I don't think I could live in that world. Like, imagine just opening your phone, not knowing what it's going to be, and just like, fucking hell.
Like, where is it secreting from?
I don't know.
Phone?
The camera, just somewhere. Just so it gets your face. Especially if you have to use
Fucking
like
cases of pink eye will just shoot through the roof.
especially if you have to use like your face to open your phone. You know? It like does the wee thing. And
I
then
don't have that on
it
my
just goes.
I refuse to use that on my phone.
Yeah, no, same. It really.
I hate looking at myself at the best of times anyway. I don't want to be looking at myself like that.
As someone-
Anytime I have to pay for something, like looking at myself when I'm paying for fucking 2 8% ciders, like.
Yeah. I the only thing I do use is like my fingerprint scanner, which I know is kind of the same sort of a thing, but and I like each finger I have in like, well, the ones that I only use like my thumbs and maybe that one, but I have in like 5 times because I hate whenever like it's like not recognized. You're like, it's the same finger. what the fuck is the problem? Like, and you're like, trying to fucking change song when you're driving or something, and you're just wanting to quickly like just do that, and it's like keeps vibrating on your fucking thumb, and you're like, fuck you fucking bastards. Anyway, what was your business idea?
2 words.
They've already done that. Sorry.
Alcoholic soup. Yeah, was that opportunity knocking?
It's been 177 episodes, and we finally got there. Alcoholic soup.
What do you think?
My exhale was so loud there that the draft opened the door. Alcoholic soup.
Yeah.
Why?
Soup in a pint on the go.
Oh, tell me the recipe.
Depends. You got your different flavors.
What's the
So you get
flavours?
your everyman flavor. Your kind of harp, your Carlsberg, your Tennant. That'll be your vegetable broth. Haven't figured out what alcohol goes in that one yet.
You don't know what alcohol goes in the harp broth?
No, it's not a harp broth, but that's where that's what it represents. That your kind of everyman
your
beer,
lager-y
your lager
sorta-
is your vegetable broth.
Your lager
Little
soup.
something a bit fancier. Tomato soup. Obviously, you probably go down the kind of Bloody Mary route with that soup. And I was thinking you could even have a wee. I came home and told Orla all this last night.
What must her experience be when you've come home from a long day?
Well,
You're
actually, there was a pool tournament in here last night, so
oh, very good.
yeah.
Very good.
Um,
How'd you get on?
Out in the first round, one
Right.
match. As I anticipated,
Who won?
I knew I'd be home before 10. That bastard Burnside
Of course
won.
he did. Of course he did.
Yeah.
That upsets me.
He was smack talking all night as well.
He seems like he'd be a really relentless shit talker as well. Yeah. And the kind of shit talking that's like hard to get riled up about because it's so like calm.
Yeah.
I bet it's real calm, is it?
You've got him. You've got him banged right there.
Is it
Nathan.
just like, oh, you missed that one there?
He's an awful bastard.
Hmm.
He'll be joining us soon enough on the podcast.
And you can catch
yeah,
him
you
soon.
can catch him. Yeah. So, well, I'll tell you what. Here's what happened. Right.
Okay.
I actually thought of just
Alcohol soup.
pint of soup. The first brainwave was pint of soup.
Because cup of soup.
I didn't even think of that.
I thought that was the only way that we could have ended up here. Okay, carry on.
Well, I was thinking there's a market for soup on the go. So you could have it out of a soup, like a van, and just have 4 taps for pint-sized soup. Now, it doesn't have to actually be alcoholic. That's the thing.
I think the tapas place might get you for Brandon, but carry on.
Why?
They're 2 taps. Carry on.
Well, 4 taps in with 4 different flavors.
Okay.
We have your vegetable broth, your tomato, your I would say
For some reason,
your mushroom.
Say-
And with here your miso broth soup. Now you could actually put a bit of rum in that, and that might be nice.
your use of the word flavors reminds me of that Fast Show sketch, Cheesy Peas. It's like for some reason I feel like even though flavor is definitely an acceptable word in this application here, I feel like more like blend or something should be the
Yeah,
term,
okay, yeah.
the term
yep,
used.
yep, yep.
If you're like
You just got yourself a 10% stick, sir.
if you're like mushroom flavor, that suggests to me that there isn't actually mushrooms in the soup. It's just
Right,
mushroom adjacent.
Yes, I get you.
You know what I mean?
Got you. Okay, so you're a Brandon guy. That's it. Okay, listen,
Yeah.
consider me sold. How much are your services? I'll invoice you tomorrow.
110%. Deal.
But I was pitching this
So wait, flavors were mushroom, miso,
tomato,
of course.
vegetable.
Do you want heartburn?
Well, I was. Somebody said you could serve it in a little small cocktail. It was with like a crust of bread instead of a wedge of lime, and a little kind of instead of the rim of sugar and salt or whatever.
So far, all I'm hearing is soup.
Nutritional yeast.
So far, all I'm hearing is soup.
Yeah, but in a like you've
So
never
your
thought
business
about it
idea
before.
is soup.
No, but not from a bowl though.
So far, it's just soup.
From a van, from a pint glass in a van.
So you've taken
On the
basically-
go. Not a pint glass because it'll smash.
You've basically taken what hipster bars have done to cocktails, serving them in teapots, and been like, why put soup in a bowl?
But soup on the go from a van is like, that's, people would buy soup.
They already can.
From poured into like a pint.
There's loads of like garages. I wouldn't get it myself.
Yeah, but I'm talking like bespoke flavors from a
right.
nice, from
Would
the
you
back
call-
of a horse box,
would
from
this-
a back of a renovated horse box.
Would this be
bespoke flavors from the back of a renovated horse box.
would this be street food, but you'd only serve it in the forest?
Yes.
Yes.
Now
You
now-
know how I feel about
yeah,
these.
yeah, I
people.
do. I remember.
yeah. It sounds like you want to open a soup kitchen, which I'm not against. I just don't think it's as groundbreaking as you think it is.
Artisan soup from the back of a fucking horse.
It is
box.
hard to get a good soup now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I'll give you that because
Imagine going up and going a pint of tomato.
tomato, pint of tomato,
How dare you? How dare you?
I'll pint of tomato. Portion, I'll pint of tomato there, sir. What is your favourite soup?
Tomato.
Tomato.
I don't know. I like
If
all
it's
soup.
not, if the answer is indeed tomato, I still have
Carrot and red pepper.
I still have a drawer full of Heinz tomato soup, which is a callback. But this is what happens when you have to look for clips from every episode we've ever done. I get all the references now. It wasn't even that long ago. It's only like 20 episodes ago. We had an episode called Drawer of Soup where I told you that Margaret had dedicated an entire
Yes,
drawer in our
that's
kitchen
right, I
to a
remember
drawer
that
of
now.
soup. And then you
Yes,
thought,
yes.
why not just pour it all in, take it out of the tins, save on space, which I couldn't see a problem with, and we have done. But yeah, I'm Mick, sometimes I feel like you think that I shoot down these ideas too quickly. And so I'm really trying to find the merit in this.
Right. Okay, let me continue to pitch. Imagine it's like November.
How long is this elevator ride?
I've hit the emergency stop button. That's a wee life hack for an elevator pitch. Just hit the emergency stop button.
and take out your manifesto and be like, page 1.
So I think, like the way you maybe down at the Big Fish in Belfast, there's always vans parked up. I think for the winter season, like a soup van with artisan flavored soup. There's not. Okay, then alcoholic soup. Then is anybody putting booze in soup? If not, we can go that way with it. What I'm saying is, I'm malleable. I'm a big idea.
The only thing that I can really see, like even being vaguely tasty, is using wine.
Red wine and tomato soup.
Like red wine in like a beefy flavor soup or something.
Yeah, that probably makes more sense.
Is probably the I can be the recipe guy as well if you want, and the but like
strictly vegetarian and vegan soup as well, by the way, because you can't be pouring.
Because it's good to alienate half the.
No, you can't pour beef out of a pound tap. It's just it would be disgusting.
That's what you blend it up into a fine paste.
But but nah, I don't want to be blending animals in the back of my coffee van.
No, it's just
Soup van.
You don't blend them. You don't blend them there. You blend them beforehand.
No.
Get them into.
Come on, Coke. All this
I feel like you're on coke.
It's just reflex from pitching.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't think any other alcohol would work. Like, should we try make this?
Rum. I think a miso rum soup might be nice.
Yeah.
Should
we try make this?
Yeah, let's make a miso rum soup.
A Measle Rum Soup.
Is rum the right?
Rum is like
very
Captain
sweet.
Morgan's
Yeah, it's very
sort of stuff,
sweet
isn't
though,
it?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Might be
or
too
like Bacardi or something.
I think like I think it's the
don't use
rum
those
and
ones.
gingerness of the soup. I think
I think like a brandy could be very good in like in like a
tomato soup.
In like now you're talking.
Now you're talking.
I think a brandy might work well in like
vegetable broth.
Yeah, like to add like because
we're cooking now, sir.
When I make pepper sauce, I put brandy in it, and it adds lovely heat. So it's like anything that. So you just using that logic, if you want to accentuate like a peppery taste of something, or like a chili sort of taste in something, brandy might work. It'd be worth a shout.
Potatoes and stuff.
I can't believe I'm going to spend time doing this.
What about like a potatoey stout kind of soup?
I
heard it coming out. I heard it.
Yeah.
I knew it was wrong and it was coming out.
I don't know. I think no, you got to go for like bold flavors. You got to go like mushrooms. A good soup base. Mushroom soup's really good.
I can't think what sort of alcohol you would put in a mushroom soup.
I'm trying to remember what mushroom tastes like.
Delicious.
Good. Yes, correct.
Yes, I recall.
White wine.
White wine, man. You didn't shoot it down, and you're
white wine.
You're going the right way to get an equal partnership in this business.
Pretty soon I'll have bought you out. I have to hand it to me. You really took the ball and ran with it. Literally, give me back my ball. This was my ball. We're on 35 minutes and we've really only just covered alcoholic soup. This is going to be a good day. We're going to get through a lot, and we're going to accomplish our task of banking episodes. And this will be mainly just alcoholic soup, and I'm in for it.
Would you be up for trying to make a? I think the miso broth one is the one to try. I think it's the most.
I'm not familiar enough with the taste of miso to
like a kind of like
am
I right
in thinking that's
tofu
like an Asian
noodle, like an Asian sort of tofu noodles, ginger,
so like
chili,
sake or something,
possibly,
or like maybe I don't know. I mean
I feel like alcoholic soup is such a no-brainer. I can't believe it hasn't been done before.
The inevitable problem I feel here is just the risk of explosion.
Well, that's actually I did get like a mild soup explosion the last time I made soup.
I think there's a good,
I have done some trial and error.
I think there's a good reason that they don't put like hot spirits into a vat very regularly. You know what I mean? I think that's probably been tried. Like I can't imagine this hasn't been tried. But yeah, I don't know.
Because like you would have soup, you would have stew in a pint. Why not just give them a
cider,
bigger bowl and pour the pint?
Cider would surely work for something. Cider's got to be. It's because it's fruit, like. So there's got to be a way of.
But it's like it's all like tangy and kind of.
I think cider would work really well in like a carrot soup. You're
really fucking.
I'm just trying to think what would work together if it hadn't already been made into alcohol, and apples and carrots together are decent.
Yeah.
So obviously cider is very different. This is I'm racking my brain here.
It's good. See, this is the guy who was poo-pooing it minutes ago.
I'm trying to take you seriously. It's tough, like, but
what's hard to take seriously about booze soup?
What's the company name?
Supermux.
Supermux. Fuck's sake. He did it again.
Actually, that wasn't mine. Jacob gave me that last night
again,
while I was pitching it to him.
Maybe legally unsafe.
Yeah.
No, let's do it. Like, what's the name? It's got to be.
Well, no.
Whenever you read it, it's got to be apparent that the product is booze infused soup.
Right. Booze soup. Superb. No, not herbs.
You need to go the hairdressers and dog groomers route of picking
curl
a name.
Up and die.
Yeah.
That's
Eat shit and die.
I love that one. There was curl up and die on the Armo Road was a.
Yeah, there's a couple of goodies. Yeah, because if you're going to run a business,
but
in
I
Belfast,
think it needs
a pun name, so
think
people know you're good crack.
But I think we need to be kind of. It's a high concept food. Only for the elite. I think we need to go elite with our brand and make it seem like bespoke. And
so in the traditional sense, where normally when people see,
we don't want vagrants coming near our van thinking it's just a soup van.
So normally when people see soup being served on the street, there's the expectation probably that it'll be free and it'll be for the needy.
No.
But you want them to fuck off.
Yeah. This is going to be expensive for the greedy.
This will be the exact reverse of the welcome organisation.
Yeah,
it'll be the fuck
like
off organisation.
I'm getting you fed and drunk at the same time.
One queue.
You're getting your 5 a day and you're getting steaming.
One queue of people who desperately need the warmth and the nutrition, and then just parallel, just separated by a nice fancy rope, but only fancy on one side.
Real
just
estate agents.
Toxes exclusively, black tie only. Yeah, I mean, you'll go viral. I don't know for what reason just yet.
So guys, if you want to get it on the ground floor, and this is cool. This is our chance to tear.
I'm rooting for you.
This is our that's good. Soup. What's it? Booze. Hooch.
Rootin' soup and hooch.
Soup and hooch. Hooch and soup. Hooch soup. Soup hooch.
Soup and hooch. Hooch and soup.
Hooch and soup. Super hooch. We'll change our identities. You'll be hooch, I'll be soup.
Super hooch, but spelled soup.
This is riveting listening.
Super hooch. Super hooch. But spelled
yes.
soup the way you would spell soup. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Super hooch. Super hooch.
Super hooch.
Right, so this is our chance to clear up on the Patreon now.
No, it has a name now, we have to do it.
No, this is our chance. We guess, if you want to donate £5 a month, you can become a part owner of Super Hooch. It's the hottest new food trend.
I was going to say we should probably set it higher than a fiver, but probably not.
Yeah. Soup's easy. Soup's cheap to make.
But hooch is not cheap to buy.
We'll make it ourselves.
Let's not.
Potching soup.
Let's not. Oh, God. Yeah. No. Oh, God. Do we have a spare phone? Is your phone free? Or it's not this one?
Yeah.
Can we Google to make sure this hasn't been done already?
A few moments later.
There's one here called Drunken chicken soup, tipsy tomato soup, whiskey chicken soup, 10 best alcohol soup recipes, 5 deliciously spiked soups. There's booze in these soups and we're not mad about it. Drunken chicken soup recipe. Ginger and scotch whiskey chicken soup.
Now, in my world...
I tried cocktails made with broth, and here are my honest thoughts.
In the world of my legal system, you'd be entitled to 50% of these.
Well, that was a waste of an evening.
No, we could still make our own. We'll call it Soup Notions.
I don't know, Super Hooch is...
Yeah, Super Hooch is probably the way to go, right? Yeah.
Bollocks. Well, once again, I've been validated, though. Proved that I had a brilliant idea that already existed.
I mean, I would love to see the Google Analytics on the hit ratio on these links. I don't know if many people like someone at home has like a Google alert when anybody has like probably either brought this up or searches for this or something, and have just been sitting just doing a Rubik's cube in a dark basement somewhere for the last year and a half, just unnotified, and they're just like. Just about to get it, and then bing, this will come up, and they'll be like, and his mum will knock on the door and be like, "Dinner's ready." He's like, "Not now, you stupid bitch." He's like, "Shush."
He's in character.
It's happening. You just made someone's day. Just one person's day. You've made one person's day.
Yeah. Well.
Really
wish I hadn't bought that van.
Yeah. What the fuck are you gonna do with it now? You all right? You've got it. Sweet. Any other great business ideas, Mick?
I think I did have some, but I can't recall them now. I'm kind of all burnt out. Can I come back to you in 10 minutes, Dragons? I'm a bit tuckered out from the first one there. Stop looking at me. Don't look at me, Theo.
My favourite ones. My favourite ones always are the ones where. Well, there's two different interactions that happen regularly, which are my favourite. One is the what's that guy's name? The like Simon Cowell of the group. Peter Jones. Peter Jones. I love when he is just so angry that they're even there. He's like, why? Like, when he's just like, why have you brought this? This is dumb. Go away. Like, those are my favorites. When someone has like put just the most ridiculous idea and they brought it, and he's just like, and they never have any of their numbers or any of this stuff. It just the amount of shows like that are on the later years of their seasons, and like so a good example. What's the one? Hell's Kitchen. Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen. If you're applying for season 15 of Hell's Kitchen, and you haven't already come equipped with the full knowledge of how to make a risotto, or how to cook a steak, or how to cook fish, or how to cook scallops, and you've had the gall to apply for this show without those specific pieces of information that you know are going to come up every year. Every year the menu's the same. It's risotto, scallops, some other shit, and then there's like a Wellington. It's always learn those ones. You don't even need to be an accomplished chef. Just get really good at those. And
those are Lord Ramsay's favourite foods.
That's all that's
you need
ever
to please Lord Ramsay.
All that's ever been on the menu, and like you get these people applying, and they're like, "I've watched every season of Hell's Kitchen. It's my favourite show. I love Gordon. I'm the head chef of 4 restaurants and all this sort of stuff." And then they get there and they're like, "Oh, risotto? I've never fucking even heard of that." And then he fucking does the inevitable, like. He takes a ladle of it and it's still just slopping, dripping wet. And he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And they're like, "Sorry, I've never even heard of risotto before. Big fan of the show, though. I couldn't have seen this coming." Kills me. But same with Dragon's Den. It's like, get numbers. They ask the same questions every time. It's like, what was your profit last year? What is your projected profit for next year? What is the valuation of the business? How have you justified the valuation of this business?
I'd be like, guys, listen, my partner's the numbers guy, but unfortunately he's afraid of lifts, so he's down in the lobby. He's down in the lobby. If you want to go down and speak to him, he'll run you through the numbers. Right. My head's pickled even in listening to these. I swear he's down there.
Which is a nice segue into my company, Head Pickles. But yeah, and then the other type are essentially the D from It's Always Sunny people who like they're dead confident in the lift, and then they're like, "Hello, dragons." Like those are my favourite, man. I love them, and I love when they persevere and they like you can tell it's like touch a nerve in their heart. They're like, "No, it's okay. I know this is a big moment for you. Go take a minute," and then they. Thank you. I need a glass of water, and they're like, it's just all over them and all, and they come back and they're like sweating and all, and then they're like, "Well, what is it?" And they're like, "It's self-sticking envelopes," and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I think they should give them real flamethrowers. I think that would really add an element of
because the dragons,
yeah. Whenever they don't like something, they just go, "No." Just absolutely syringe whatever the stand, they're like.
It would cut the wheat from the chaff.
It really would cut the wheat from the chaff. Yeah, absolutely. And it would really be taking your life into your hands if you did have a wheat-centric business, because that's really flammable stuff. But somebody commented on one of our posts recently and said, "What about if you make a drink a game out of every time the other fella says but and I have to agree. It's
do we not both do that?
I do it a lot. I've noticed. So I went through.
I do, I noticed that.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as your propensity to bring up the phrase, "Do you think it's a result of our post-colonial mindset?"
It's true.
It comes up so much.
It's true though. But it only comes so much because that's what the circumstances in which we're living in and grew up in. That's only why it really comes up though. It's true. It's like, I mean, we are
not denying the possible relevance. Just saying, you should get that was really tough to say. A thesaurus.
Well, I'm sorry if I've settled on the exact words I need to get my point across. Why say 100 words when 10 will suffice? Nathan.
Sure, there'd be no podcast if it didn't take me so long to make my point. But yeah.
By the way, we hadn't seen each other in 6 weeks earlier. And within 2 minutes, he was back on his fucking bullshit, making his wee fucking snarky, past remarkable jives at my fucking fashion sense.
Which may seem harsh now, considering we're both wearing very similar looking jumpers, but you haven't seen the rest of it. This was fine as well, but it was the jacket that went along with it. I was just like, it was like this fucking. I was like, it was only a couple of weeks ago. This boy was telling me he would take me shopping to sort out my fucking.
Here, listen. No, the thing is, I dress differently. I could dress you easily, and I think you'd be really happy. But it wouldn't be what I would want to wear because we're different people. Fair.
What do you see for me then?
I think like that jacket that you have is a great start. Margaret be damned.
You've heard it here first. There's other things that I noticed when I was going through the old episodes that I really,
you're such a cunt.
that I really enjoyed. There's one episode really early on And I remember it. I think I messaged you about it actually. But
Yeah.
The first like 10 minutes of it are really touchy.
Yeah. What was it again?
I remember. Well, I can't remember exactly what the. I remember what ended up really fucking annoying you, but basically the day that we recorded it, I remember we were. It was one of those ones where like you were essentially working like right up to hitting record, like you were like still at work essentially, until like we had to start, and so I was setting up, and just I think like over the course of the setup I had just been winding you up about like not helping or something, probably just something dumb. I was just being a dick like on purpose or whatever, but like I was like just enjoying just the way proud, and you were just you must have been having a roast of a day or something.
I think I was,
and like and then like so then we sat down to record and I made that spinning plates joke, and you were like, there was a moment where you clearly had to stop yourself. You were like, I will fucking just you I will fucking just, you know what you're doing. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. What are you talking about? And you were like, oh.
Well, this is actually a thing. It's funny because I do think that you allow yourself to kind of when you're saying about your schedules, you're like, I'm really fucking busy. I'm absolutely busted. And then I say the same. And I get, huh? That's what I get. I'm just like, he just thinks I'm a fucking. He won't give me. It's like he won't just say, fuck. I know you are.
But you ought to be boring.
I'm more for you. I'd sleep at night.
The problem is though is that you could absolutely bring this energy back at me. It just wouldn't affect me the same.
I know. I see. It's just I have a tendency to get flustered. You know what it is? It's just.
Do you think that you have a? I'm just trying to think about why we would react to it differently. But do you have like a? Because you do seem when you react in those moments, it's as if you think that I think that you don't do anything.
That's an insecurity of mine.
Yeah, but why? Like you obviously are. I mean, you obviously know that I know. That
I know, but it's just that's a deep-seated insecurity of mine.
Is it because of your post-colonial mindset? He shoots, he scores. I was like,
it's true.
To be fair, he couldn't see that coming over all the plates that he had on the go.
All right, fuck. Let's not take 6 weeks off again. I'm on the ropes here. Fucking body shot after body shot. This is what I get for years of loyalty when everybody else is saying he's a melter. He never fucking stops giving out.
They do say that.
No, they don't.
They probably do. It's fair.
I say it though. They're always like, how's Nathan? I'm like, he's a fucking melter. all my friends from Omagh always ask about you as if they were thinking, how
None of my friends from Cork even listen to this. And they all know I do it. No interest, which probably says more about how long I've been essentially doing this anyway, regardless. You know what I mean? As in, like, just, they're like, do I want to subscribe to listen to them rant? Probably not. No. Once a year at Christmas is enough for me. That is very nice, though. That is very nice that your friends ask about me.
Yeah. I always tell him, he's grand.
It is nice.
He's like, he's like, most of the time he's just having the crack.
Yeah,
when he's moaning, like.
That's the thing.
And then I also say as well, I would like, and see, to be honest with you, like, if I had been gigging in pubs since I was 16, I would have the exact same attitude, and like the shit that he's talking about does happen.
The one of the doormen,
whether or not he chooses to escalate or de-escalate, that's on him.
That is on me. It is on me, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I'm aware. It was one thing definitely, like trying to go back through the episodes, and it's something that I keep saying, and it's like it's tough to know. I get the feeling like I should just make a concerted effort to like. It's funny, I say this and then something happens and I think this is probably going to be funny though. Maybe, surely, maybe it'll be a worthwhile.
You have a streak of devilment in you for sure.
Maybe it'll be a worthwhile rant. No, I just mean like bringing the story here.
Ah, yeah.
I mean like.
I thought you meant in the moment. You make that decision.
Maybe, yeah, sometimes. But I've had a couple of those belters actually over the last while. There was a guy came in at Songbook at like 5 to 12 the other night. It was all done, and he was like, "Do we have to? Is this a paid in sort of a thing?" And I was like, "Aye, but it's over." Like, and he was like, "Are they still serving?" And I was like, "Downstairs, man, maybe." Yeah. And he was like, "Is this on every month or?" I was just like, "It is, yeah, it is." He was like, "What is it?" I was just like, do you know what you do, man? Just fuck off. Like, looking like a still fully set up stage, you know what I mean? All seats out, like, put it together. You'll be all right. Figure it out. Use your fucking brain for 2 minutes. Swear to God. It's so funny. But no, I do know that I have a propensity to lean into these things. But
as you say, there'd be no podcast.
I don't know, but you know what? I don't think it's actually. It's not. I think what I've learned from like listening back to all of them is like I don't think it's as enjoyable to listen to as I probably think it is at the time. You know what I mean? It's just like, which is like another reason, which another thing I was reminded of actually that we said we would do, which we should, is like clearing the back catalogue off iTunes or wherever you listen and just keeping the most recent 10 up or whatever. Because like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just think like it's cool if like I think you might as a new listener you might go back to some of those with a bit more of a charitable ear if you've already bought into like the kind of, you know, Mad Notions 3.0. I don't what how many points are we on now at this point?
Knows.
But
pointless.
Point Mad Notions 3 pointless. But yeah, I just can't imagine like as a new listener going like trying to give something a chance and being like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Who's this angry Irishman?
Yeah. Why are they talking about soup?
When are they going to get back to imagine this is the first episode, isn't it? And they're like, this is someone's
found their niche.
Someone's exact niche, and they got really
found
excited.
to get you steaming.
They've sent it into their subreddit and all their they're like a subreddit moderator or something, and they're like, we finally found our people. And they're like, I've listened to the other episodes. I think this only comes up once. But there it is. But what's that? It fucking kills me now that it's been pointed out to me.
I'm raging that person has done that because that's going to cripple you for a while.
It's probably not a bad thing though. It's like these conversational crutches that I use like a lot. Like
that's how people converse.
Like saying like all the time.
I say like all the time.
But when
fucking so it is.
It doesn't.
Big fucking deal.
I know it probably doesn't matter. Like, but.